What is up, guys? Big Clive 34 coming at you, and we have a little bit of a special guest back there behind us. Right now we're heading to Deal Paving and Dyno Jet Services in Pennsylvania, and we're going to put this thing on the dyno, and hopefully everything holds together. Like, there's so many pieces of this truck that could go wrong. I guess in any build that's a fresh build, there's so many things that could go wrong, and like, it just has me anxious. Every time I think I'm done, something else happens. Like there's a little thing or something I forgot, or you know, something that needs to be attended to last minute, and it's just crazy because it seems like it's never ending. And I think I got everything done late last night. I went to fill it up with coolant, and it was all leaking out, and then I discovered that the O-ring that goes in the thermostat just wasn't seated properly, so it was creating a gap. And then I kind of did some sloppy bullshit and pasted it all back together because the gasket ripped, and yeah, whatever. So it works. It holds coolant, and I hope everything goes fine on the dyno. This is so nerve-wracking. Oh man,
let me write it.
Things are getting serious. And this isn't what we were expecting.
No.
We're on the way to AutoZone because the 1-bar, yeah, the 3-bar map sensor that I bought was actually deciphered to be a 1-bar.
Yep.
So
the reason why your truck wasn't running right is because it had a shitload of fuel in it, and you were like, why is there so much fuel? Well, we hooked up HB tuners, turned on the scanner, started it, and it said it was idling at 278 kPa, which is over 20 pounds of boost. Not closing in on 30. So after I'm like, oh, they could have sent you a Duramax sensor. Some of the very few of the GM sensors have different pin out. So we swapped the pins and the sensor was off, so it wasn't that. So then I'm like, you know what? I think they sent you a 1-bar. And then I put 1-bar settings in and it works fine. So yeah, they sent him a stock map sensor instead of an actual 3-bar, which I can understand why their parts picker did that, because that thing is totally blank. It has no label on it or pin out or part number or anything. Not even a silver Sharpie mark that says 3-bar on it. That's what I do. Right.
So first ever issue with Amazon. The whole truck was pretty much built off Amazon, and well, let's keep our fingers crossed that this is the only thing that's...
Yeah, we'll get there.
So
we'll get there. We were trying to get, that's the number one, and then we got to do the segment back to a 60E, which shouldn't be a problem now that we know why it's running so poorly. I suggested we get a 2-bar out of like a GTP, because you can't really get a 3-bar out of anything other than like a ZR1 Corvette, and that has a different connector, and that doesn't get us anywhere.
Yeah.
So 2-bar map out of like 3800 Supercharged Series 2 will plug and play and give us 14 pounds, and we'll be, you know, we'll be closer to the finish.
I came back to chill with the truck. Matt dropped me off and went to his house where he says that he thinks he has the right map sensor. Shout out to him for going out of his way to try and help remedy the situation, even though I got the wrong sensor. It kind of sucks that they sent the wrong part. I mean, hour and a half, 2 hours up here, 2 hours back. Time, my time, Matt's time, you know, fuel costs, all over a little $30 sensor that the company just sent the wrong one. Just kind of frustrating. We were scheduled at 12 o'clock to get tuned. I got here at 11:30. I was actually a little bit early because I wanted to take my time, and it's now 1:35. So this is just in line with how my luck tends to be. But I really appreciate, big ups to him for running around and doing all this stuff, because that's first class stuff. So thanks, Matt, for kicking ass, and we're gonna see if we can get this new sensor in, and hopefully the truck lines up otherwise. They say the mad scientist in the Fast and the Furious. That's what this is.
Thanks for that compliment. So it's making like 130 kPa. It's like it's 4 or 5 pound spring, which is good because the light one's in there. Oftentimes I'll ask people what wastegate spring they have in, and they'll go, well, I didn't touch it. Problem is a lot of China gates come with 3 springs, and to save on packaging now, they put every spring in the wastegate. So it's effectively like a 40 pound spring.
Two of them here.
So every now and then I ask somebody, what'd you put in it? And they're like, oh, nothing, I just put it on. I'm like, oh, okay. If it has a standalone, I set boost cut and we wrap it at like 24 pounds. I'm like, oh, yeah, here we are. But luckily yours has the really low one in, and then I brought a ball and spring, and we should be off, make a couple pounds more and pray for your 60E, since for whatever reason it's not.
It's doing 60E things.
Drive in 3, nothing. Put it in 2nd, wind it up, put it in 3rd, it goes into 3rd. I'm like, all right, whatever. Oof. Whatever. Hopefully it makes the dyno pulse. Hopefully at least you have 1st to get it back on your trailer. Yeah. And then that would be a good day.
Man.
All right.
Cool. Let me go hide. It was all 2nd, huh?
What?
I guess that was all 2nd, huh?
I think it downshifted and then just hit the limiter. I was hoping that it didn't just like blow out of 3rd. I told it to stay in 3rd, but sometimes it just up there like, no. Yeah. it sounded like it downshifted. Yeah. Unless it came out. I'm gonna look quick. It'll tell me what, if it chose 2nd, it'll tell me. Cool. Mid-pull, it downshifted. If it said 3rd here on the data log that whole time, I'd be like, it probably just lost 3rd. So yeah, it was just pounding. Lost 3rd all the way. Pounding limiter and whatnot. A little bit lean. I'm gonna add a little bit of fuel, and then maybe we'll bump it to like 10 pounds. Because keeping under 400 is like a pretty safe spot for a 60E. Yeah. So whatever else is going on with it, hopefully. Wait, did you just say that there's a safe spot for a 60E? Under 400, especially in a truck is, well, these trucks aren't even that heavy. A Firebird weighs the same as what this truck does. Yep. But anything under 400, Firebird, whatever truck, the truck like this, right? 350, 400 is pretty safe as long as you don't like intentionally power downshift all the time, like diesel truck owners. Yeah. They're in like 6th gear and they're like blah 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 blah, and by the time it hits 3rd, they lift. Yeah. So all it does is power down and then they lift. So all it knows is like full power downshift and then lift. Yeah. It like never gets to apply the gear. None of that for me. So as long as you're not doing that. Holding. You look really surprised. I'm just like, it's like, when I'm like, stay in, drive shaft. Mostly what I'm thinking. Just gonna make it so nice on low boost that I'll be like, we'll just leave it. I say that to people. I'm like, you don't need to try to impress me. Yeah. I'll be happy if you just drive it forever, you know? Did it make more that time? Yeah, it did, with a more conservative fuel and timing. 0.057 PSI, 16 degrees up top, with like a really safe 1150 air fuel, a 358 wheel. I mean, a truck like this will only make 220 stock. That's what I just did. Here's the difference already on 7 pounds. Right, 230 was, for you guys who didn't hear that, stock number, well, tuned stock number. And then 3 pounds. I can do here. That's stock. That's tuned stock. And then that's turbo on 7 pounds already. That's choo-choo boy. So almost twice the power on 7 pounds. So it's super safe right now. So I would say I'll get my boost controller and we'll try to make 10 pounds and see if it wants to pick up really good power on. I mean, this combo on a bad day, I'll do like 18 horsepower per pound. Right. So it'll be pretty easy to hopefully just go 400 with mil amount of timing. And right. You hear that thing? Yeah. Was that a bus? Yeah, that sounded like a Supra. For me, these pools are terrifying because of what I was telling you guys earlier. And it looks like all the fluids are still inside of the truck. That's a win for me. Matt's just smoking his boost controller over here. Hopefully I can get that. I might have to razor those off. What this is going to do is it's going to artificially back up the your reference here. Because when
Right.
this is seeing 7 pounds, that's wide open and it won't, it's venting,
Right,
you know,
right.
the exhaust gas. So this will, it has a little ball and a spring, and it's going to create pressure. What it's going to do is back this up a little bit. So if you add a pound here, you usually, it has to bust through this to open the vent. So it's artificially adding spring.
Sure.
I want to see a tiny bit of boost increase, and then if it does, we'll go a tiny bit more.
Right.
Every combo is slightly different, but like you turn that like a full turn, it might be 1 pound, it might be 3 pounds. So until you get a baseline on that, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Crazy how fast it's going once we get the map sensor in it.
Yeah.
Not making fun of you or anything, I'm just saying.
No.
I put a tune in, it's like, whoa!
Yeah,
Like, that's where we should be. Now, if we keep adding boost and power keeps going down, we're probably like, the tranny's probably, their gear is probably not happy.
Yeah.
So then you can go right back to gate and just
Gate's
cruise
fine.
around.
As long as I can drive this bitch around a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't even...
It's weird how it doesn't move and drive in third, but if you go into second and then select third, you hear it goes into third pretty slow.
Right.
Ooh, like it just drops.
Mushy.
That's why I look at you, I'm like, dink, and then it's like, and then when it's in, I'm like, oh, it's in.
So third is... Can I hit the highway in third?
I feel like maybe we could even hit fourth as long as we're, whatever is not working in low, like it can't, something is broken where it can't apply the low gears when it's selected in high, but I can pull out in second and first, and then once it has some speed, it lets me apply the others. I don't know, because if you were low on fluid, that wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I would still check it, but it probably hurt it. We'll see if it cooled down enough. If it cooled down enough, I'll go right into third and make a pull, try to trim out the fuel on 14. But if it makes low power again and had decent fuel in it, we'll just take the boost controller off. And
right. Go back to whatever
like,
little
good
baby,
luck.
whatever baby springs in there.
Yeah.
Was that third giving up?
It just laid over, so I just lifted.
Huh?
Yeah, it just laid over bad. So yeah, I think it probably is the trans. It starts, runs, makes boosts.
We'll move. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely safe on 7.
I'm cool with that.
I would say, you know, it hasn't been the most easy day on us so far.
Yeah.
So we'll call that a day.
that works for me. I mean, it should move.
Yeah, it just... I rolled in and it was starting to break 200 and it went right down to like $150.
Right.
It just leveled and I was like, no.
Nope. So that basically means it's time for the 80.
So I just bumped neutral and then slowed it down. I'm like, okay.
I guess the final peak number was what, 363? Not that it really matters.
I mean, the rest of it's doing great other than the map sensor. They're really...
So there's a couple things I got to sort out.
They hosed you on that, but the rest of it's really good.
Yeah.
We didn't throw a drive shaft at 130 we hit a bunch of times.
All right, guys. So, I didn't even realize how dirty I was. I didn't even do anything, and I'm dirty. But this is where the video is going to end. I want to give a quick shout out to Matt and Sloppy Mechanics. Go check them out. He really went above and beyond for me today. He didn't have to do that. When I had the bad sensor, he could have been like, "Oh well, dude, just, you know, I don't know what to tell you." But he ran all the way back to his house, came all the way back up to the shop, hooked up the sensor. Definitely check those guys out. Even beyond that, they have a lot of great information out there. I basically built like 90% of the truck is from strictly their information, because I don't know much about doing any of this stuff, and like just by reading their community and their website and all of the helpful information there, it just works. Trust me, if you want to build something like this, go check it out. Even if you only take bits and pieces, because I know the whole sloppy thing isn't for everybody, but even if you just take bits and pieces of it, you know, it's a good place to learn. But for the day, I guess what we learned about the truck is that the transmission actually did shit the bed. So we have first, second, kind of third. We tuned it made like 360, and that's obviously conservative, very, very, very conservative, just so that the transmission will be able to hold it and it'll be able to move and drive. So I guess that what that tells me is that my suspicion that the transmission was at least hurt is confirmed. Got it running and driving, and I'll be able to move it around. I'm gonna go see how it does on the street, maybe a little bit, maybe kick some tires off it or something. But for now, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to beat on it, but I'm gonna get out of here for today. Thank you guys for watching. I think we made a good step in the right direction. That 80E is currently being built, so maybe this thing will be a race truck soon, hopefully soon. It's just one thing after another. I have a couple leaks I have to tend to, a couple other things I have to look at, and hopefully things get better here soon, or sooner or later at least. Thank you guys for watching. It's been great. Catch you later. I don't know if you guys can see that back there or not. You probably can. It looks like you can see it, but we got a little bit of I don't know if oil's leaking. It seems like oil. It's kind of hard to tell because the oil's so new, but I think it's an oil leak, so that's going to have to get handled too. I don't know if this thing's going to make it to Ocean City or not.